Hey y'all, welcome back. It is time to do March empties. It's not a lot, but let's get into it. How I like to start all of my empties is I like to start from the beginning of the month, work my way to the end. This month I will actually include declutters because I recently went through my lipstick drawer. I reorganized it all. I used to organize them based on size. I would go from the smallest size lipstick all the way to the tallest, and then I would fit them in my drawers accordingly. But since helping my sister way back when organize her lipsticks based on all of the similar colors, so all of your pinks and berries, your oranges, your nudes, your browns, etc., I thought I would switch it up and do something different. So I ended up swatching all of my lipsticks, and I got rid of some that I know in my heart that I will never ever wear, I will never get to. It is just not me anymore, and my preferences have been changing. Now, it's not to say that this cycle will probably end and I'll be back into a mood of those type of lipsticks that I got rid of, but that is fine. I am really honing down on things that I know I will use, things I know that I will like, and just keep things that I actually want. So starting off with the first MD of March, it is going to go to my AOA Pro. This is from Shopmissy. This is their higher luxury, so to speak, section of their makeup. Their Up All Night mascara. This is supposed to be their very first ever waterproof mascara that they came out with years ago. They've since discontinued this. It is no longer on their website for very good reasons. When I got this, yes, it was expensive for Shopmissy. I think this was $4 or $5, which, I mean, on the grand scheme of mascaras on the market, that is not a lot of money. But when you're looking at Shopmissy, who is known to be a like $1 or like very, very inexpensive, cheap online makeup store, then, you know, it makes sense. This one I started to use because I wanted to kind of get an idea of how I felt, because when I first used this, my issue was that it didn't hold my lashes and it would flake and it would create a mess all over my face and underneath my eyes. And it was not something that I ever want to deal with, or anybody would want to deal with for that matter. So I did try it a couple of times. The several times that I tried this did not hold my lashes, did not flake, and it makes a complete mess. So I'm glad to have this out of my collection. Trying to be careful how I open it, but this is what the wand looks like in case you're curious. I know some people like to see the wand, but this was a very heavy, very thick, goopy sort of formula. It was in the color Black Onyx, but I'm hoping one day that Shopmissy can come out with a waterproof mascara that is actually good, and if it can be at a $5 price point, I will be happy. I will be buying it, but this was just, it was definitely not it. The next one is the Olay. This is the essence of strawberry and sweet cream infused with essential botanicals. This is the body wash. I normally get this and my body washes in like a 3 or 4 pack from Costco, just because long wise it ends up being a lot cheaper, and I just like to stock up on body washes and shampoos and things like that from Costco because I go through those frequently enough to justify buying in bulk. And this one, it was really good. I typically don't go for body washes with fragrances or scents or anything because I do suffer from eczema. Time to time it flares up, time to time it comes back worse, sometimes it goes away, and it depends. And I know fragrances are one of the factors for me personally that sometimes can affect it, but this one thankfully did not. It was very gentle on my skin. I felt like my skin felt clean and washed and smelled good at the end of the day. I didn't mind the strawberries and sweet cream. It was a like sweet, fresh sort of dessert feeling kind of body wash. Fully would repurchase. I really like these. I kind of toggle. I kind of go between the Olay, the Kirkland, and then I want to say Pantene. No, Pantene's shampoo. There's another brand, but anyways, yeah, definitely so good. Would repurchase, have repurchased, and will continue to keep buying this one, of course. Next empty is my AOA Studio Perfect BB Cream. This is one of many that I have. I absolutely love this foundation. This is my absolute one of many favorites in my collection, and this one, I don't know if they're discontinuing this because the last time I checked on the website, it was out of stock, I think, of the lighter colors or like all of the shades. And everyone was like, are you going to bring it back? Are you going to, like, is it discontinued? Is it like, what is happening? Don't know if anybody's ever got a formal answer from them, but I'm stocked up for a little bit. I do have, if you saw my backup drawer, which that backup drawer probably has not changed by any means since recording that, but I will leave it in the description box if you want to check it out. I absolutely love this foundation. It is the BB cream. It is all gone. I don't want to like touch it because it's very dirty. See, it's got all of it, but it is cleaned out to every last drop. This BB cream is my favorite because I don't have a problem with this not looking natural on my face, not feeling heavy. It provides, you know, minimal coverage. It's very light coverage. Like, it's not too light to where you don't see anything on your face or you don't like notice anything on your face, but it's also light enough to where it's not noticeable, and it's very easy to forget that you're wearing this foundation. It is just absolutely amazing. It lasts all day long. I am able to put powder products, cream products. I mean, it's not a dewy finish, and it's not a complete matte. It's also not a satin, but it just looks very natural. It's crazy how amazing this is. Absolutely love this. It is like my holy grail foundation that I will never ever part ways with if I have to. but if it's discontinued, I will force myself to. But just phenomenal foundation. My next empty may or may not be spoiler depending on if you see my 6 and 2026 update where I showed you all in that. Again, I'm so sorry because the past 2 weeks I have not done makeup. So my brain is like this much information of remembering anything what I've said previously, so I am sorry, but I am pretty sure I showed you all this in the next empty. But in case you hadn't seen this, yes, I finished my first concealer. Is it my first concealer? I want to say it's my first one this year. The CoverGirl True Blend Undercover Concealer. I am absolutely stoked to have finished this. I am happy this has been in my collection for several years now. Been trying to work at it, trying to finish it, and I am so glad. I want to say that this one was an okay concealer. It definitely covered some of my darkness underneath my eyes. Definitely, you know, concealed some of the blemishes that I had from time to time. As a whole, it's not amazing. It's not like, wow, I've never really found a concealer that's like, wow, except for maybe the original Camo concealer from e.l.f. That is the only one that has really like impressed me. I'm just glad it's out of my collection. I'm glad it's to be used. If you've ever tried this or ever want to try this, what I recommend is using a brush to blend this out. I've found that with my fingers, it looks terrible. It just sits very weirdly for some reason underneath the eyes. A sponge just doesn't do it. I just feel like the sponge soaks up a little too much of this and then you keep applying this. For me, I apply like just a dot and a dot, and then I use a brush and I like dab and then I swipe and blend. And that seems to be the best way I found out of all 3 methods of applying makeup. And also, if you ever do try and pair this with a color corrector, it does not want to sit. It just sits on top of the skin. It just looks very crepey. It just looks very ugly and like, ugh, it's horrible. So, but I'm happy nonetheless that this is out of my collection. The next empty is the LA Glitters Contour Stick, which is, sorry, I yawned. I think this was also mentioned in my 6 and 2026, so it's not really a spoiler. But if you didn't watch that, here you are. Welcome to another empty. I'm glad to have this gone. This one was so good. It was just like perfect. It wasn't too orange. It wasn't too cool. I think it's just that perfect, very thin, neutral brown line of a contour stick. Again, I feel like this wasn't really contour anyways, because for it to be contour, it has to be a little bit cooler. This was more so bronzer. Point being, what I'm trying to say is this was so creamy. I like that it was a more thinner sort of packaging, so that like I could, you know, easily apply a line. It blended very easily with any sort of brush that I had used to apply or blend this out with. It was beautiful. It was just pigmented enough, and I really, really enjoyed using this. And I would repurchase this, but I'll let you know why with with my entire base face makeup, so I do not need another one. But my second to last empty is another bottle, finally the last bottle in my collection of this, because I mentioned the last one I emptied this a couple months ago, and the other one I finished a couple years ago. I was like, I think this is my last one. No, this is officially my last bottle. This is the Personal Care Cashmere Vanilla Foaming Hand Sanitizer. I like using this to clean my hands, sanitize my hands, also just kind of like re-wet a sort of like baby wipe or like hand sanitizing wipe thing, so that I can clean my area, clean the products, clean whatever around me that I need to clean. This one was very good, very gentle on my skin. It did foam up. It did smell very nice, very vanilla, very soft. I didn't have any issues with this. I absolutely love this, and I'm just glad to finally have this last bottle finally and officially done, because I've been saying, this is the last bottle, this is the last bottle. No, this is, I can proudly say, the last bottle out. We're good to go. And my last empty is the AOA Studio I Heart Dew Lip Oil. This one, there's like a little bit you can see at the bottom, but if I take the stopper out, I have previously finished one of these before and it gets messy. I mean, this one is getting pretty messy. It is catching up all of the dirt and fuzz and whatever was in the bin that I had it in. So I am not even going to worry about that. I don't even care to worry about that. I know previously from experience that this had gotten messy, and even without taking the stopper out, it still gets messy, so that's fine. It didn't really do much. It just provided that clear sort of aspect to my lips. There was nothing nourishing, nothing hydrating, nothing moisturizing, nothing really beneficial. It was just a mere lip oil. It did fade away pretty fast over time, so I had to very much reapply constantly throughout the day. I'd say not really my favorite either. I just had an extra just because of a $20 Miss A makeup challenge I had participated in a couple of years ago, I want to say, and I was able to pick out $20 worth of makeup, this being one of them. So I said, I already know what it's like, I'm just gonna pick up another one. I would not repurchase this anyways. I'm really into more of the chapsticks, more of the more balmy sort of type of protection on my lips. I don't really care for SPF on my lips, even though I probably should, but I just want something that I know will protect, will repair, will moisturize, and all of that good stuff, rather than just for the looks. And now it is time to talk about my declutters, my unexpected declutters of this portion of the video. I'm just going to pick and pull. I'm going to try to go by color category just to make it a little easier. I'm actually going to start off with the 2 liners though, because I did get rid of 2 more of these AOA Studio Eyes on Me Vivid Liquid Liners. These are supposed to be, I don't know if they're felt tip, brush tip, what, I'm the last person to ask about eyeliners, but these are just like liquid liners to do like little line work, to do graphic liner, to do just fun little added details. But I previously had, I think, a white one and a green one, which those dried out on me, even though I tried to use them as much as possible. They just gooped up, they caused more problems, they didn't really want to show up on the eyes or anything. I just had trouble. So I said, I'm gonna get rid of these two. I don't really do liquid liner anyways. I don't really do graphic liner anymore. My routine has very much simplified 100% than it used to, and I'm perfectly okay with that. So I know all of the rest of these should be the lipsticks I had mentioned. So in the like purple berry sort of category, I am getting rid of these 3 lipsticks because they're all very dark, very moody, very just not my style anymore. When I first started makeup, dark lipstick was my jam. I was happy to sport brown lipstick. I was happy to wear this deep purple, deep reds. Me now, not so much. I feel so uncomfortable for some reason. So I said, have I ever worn these? No. Will I ever wear these? Probably not. Getting rid of the Maybelline one in Escapist. This one from NYX called Soft Matte Lip Cream in Vancouver. And then another NYX one, the Liquid Suede in Subversive Socialite. So I'm happy to not even wear those anymore. Next set of lipsticks that I want to get rid of are sort of like the nudie brownie category. This one is from Wet n Wild. This is their Liquid Catsuit High Shine lipsticks. This is their lip gloss version of it, not the liquid lipstick. This one I'm getting rid of because even though I've been holding on to it and trying to use it, the tip of it broke off. So it is broken in here somewhere. I've been trying to apply the lipstick as is with this little like plastic nub piece thing because I'm stubborn. I'm like, it's still good. I can still use it. I can still apply it. And then I was like, you know what? I need to just be honest with myself. Do I want to fuss with this? No. Do I want to cream my toe for myself? No. So I said, just get rid of it. And the next one is the Wet n Wild Velvet Matte Lip Color. This one is in Looking for Truffle. This one I thought would be this sort of brown color, but it's like a red brown. It looks like a very campfire, toasty sort of color to me, and it's just, I wanted this. I don't want a red into it. So I said, that's why I don't gravitate towards this too much. I'm fine with letting it go. I want to keep things that I know I will use, colors that I know that I will gravitate towards. This is just not one of them. 3 are all kind of almost similar. This is the NYX Lingerie one. Yes, very old. This is lace detail. I want to say this one is very pale. That's why I didn't want to keep it. This one is called Bedtime Flirt as well from the NYX Lingerie. I think this one smelled old or was dragging on my skin something. I know for some of these the reasons was because they're old or they're dragging or whatever. And this one is from Kylie. This one is the shade called Ghost Decay. This one is the Cool Tone Brown, which I absolutely do not like. I look like I'm dead in this color, and I was like, this is not flattering. I'm keeping this because I'm so sad that I'm getting rid of money and not using things that I've bought. But I realized this year I'm being 1,000% more careful, and just the past couple years I've been more conscious of colors that I will use, formulas that I will use, just anything and everything. So I know never to ever buy something like this again. Next set of colors are like orangey, peachy, pinky sort of colors. I don't feel like they flatter me. I don't feel comfortable in them. They just don't look good on me personally, at least in my opinion. These colors are just not me. So I'm okay with parting my ways with them. The first one is from Beauty Creations Seal the Deal Matte Liquid Lipstick. This one looks like a pretty color in the tube, and I thought that it would be more muted, a little bit on the like New Year peachy pink side. This one is in the shade called Now or Never, but this one is a very bright color. And like I said, I just don't feel comfortable in colors like that, so that one can be passed along. This one from Temu, when I tried a full face of it, this one was a brighter orange, but I'm just like, I don't really care for this color anymore. Like, this is just not me style anymore, and I don't even know what color this is. It just says 01. I don't care. And this one from AOA Studio is their Wonder Matte Liquid Lipsticks. This is their updated formula, but they've discontinued this entire line, so it's no longer available. This is in the shade called Serenity. This is a pink. This is a bright pink color. Not me. I don't feel comfortable. This is more, not my style. It's more of my sister. So I'm happy to pass that along to her. The last couple of colors. This one is the Wet n Wild liquid lipstick of the Catsuit ones. This one is in a shade called Berry Recognize. This is a very pretty berry color. But I want to say this one as well. The tip of it came off. Yes. So how the heck am I going to put on a liquid lipstick with a big old plastic sort of a nub to it? And again, I'm just not going to fuss with that. That can go in the trash. I could care less. And these two are from Hard Candy. I bought these because they are so pretty. They're a plumping lip gloss. Yeah, plumping serum gloss. And it's a volumizing lip gloss. This is the shade called Birthday Suit. I got this because it's a pretty, like, almost nudie lip gloss with like it's like a nudish, pinkish sort of lip gloss. And I love those. I love applying those on top of like all of my liquid lipstick colors. But I feel like they are turning it the same way as the other ones I had. I used to have one like this prior, so I used to have 3. What I'm trying to say is they look like they're going bad. They get moldy or like turning color, and that's the same issue I had before. So I said, why am I going to deal with that issue again? Knowingly, when the first one turned color, these were looking fine, and then they're starting to turn this funky brown color at the bottom. So I said, no, gross. We're just going to get rid of those. So that is my empties. That is my declutters. I hope you guys enjoy this. I'm a little rusty. Apologize, but Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys have an awesome rest of your day and or week. And I will see you in my next one. Bye bye, guys.